Hello and welcome to Luna and the Druid. I am Luna, and next to me is sitting Jan, the Druid. And today we are going to talk about the Emperor. Actually, when the Fool meets the Emperor, because this recording is all about the Fool's journey. And today, the Fool is leaving the nourishment and creative energy of the Empress and is meeting his father, his earthly father, the Emperor.
Yes, and the emperor has, as any every good father has a lot to teach to the young fool or to the young adventurer, uh, especially since he is an adventurer and he's not aware of all the threats and trials and tribulations that life will throw at him. They have a good conversation together, and the father figure, the emperor, uh, will tell him and prepare him for the next phase in his journey. So we'll take the fool through a few steps. I have a small guiding slide for us to put aside, and we'll just take it step by step till we get to the end, and then we, and of course you, our dear viewers, know a bit more about this father figure, this emperor, and what he has to learn to teach to his son. And
Yes.
these are the steps we're taking today. So the emperor talks about authority and structure, responsibility, decision making, compassion, creating order from chaos, building foundations, and in the same time setting boundaries.
Mm.
Luna, can you take point one?
Yeah, let's dive into it. Authority and structure. Uh, we talked about it a little bit on our Mondays live. I absolutely recommend watching it. And we started from actually authority and structure because to me, it's the first thing which comes to my mind when I think about the emperor, that the structure, the authority, building solid foundations, being able to hold the structure, hold the space, showing the way. When I think of the emperor, I would think of a successful businessman, along with King of Wands, King of Pentacles. However, the emperor combines the masculine energy, the energy of doing, as well as it balances the compassion energy of taking care of everything. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, definitely, definitely. It's a much more rounded figure than our kings, as you say, the King of Wands and King of Pentacles, who are more focused, so more or less multidimensional. And the Emperor, of course, being a major card, has more depth and a broader scope than these kings, and which is normal because an emperor trumps all the kings. That's what they do. And yeah,
Correct.
it's and the emperor, so the authority and structure, and from structure comes making plans and adhering to a disciplined approach. So making your plans and stick to them. That's what he teaches his son or his child, because the fool can be a man and a woman, of course. And the same goes actually for the emperor, as we saw in Monday's discussion, where both our heroes in the emperor realm were female. So it's not necessary that the emperor always is a man, but it's a active and male type of energy, as we call it, while a woman is more receptive, a male is more active energy. So the active energy, creating authority, creating structure, setting the boundaries, and all these things there. And when we go to point two, that's what it comes with. You make a plan, you start it up, and with a plan and with action comes responsibility,
Yes. Yes.
accountability. And you learn that as you progress in your journey, you have to take ownership of your actions and decisions. Whatever you do, it's not like the emperor. helps the fool to grow up, and the grow up does being grown up doesn't necessarily always mean doing the right thing, but it means taking responsibility for your actions, the good things and the other things. So that's important. It includes accepting the consequences, of course, of choices made and embracing a more mature and responsible mindset.
Yeah, and I think maturity is the key when we talk about the emperor.
Yeah, yeah, it's the fourth numbered card in the major arcana, and it's where the fool reaches the mature age, and before
Mm.
he really goes out into the world and meets a teacher and meets a lover, goes on a journey with a chariot, and further and so forth and so forth. So it's really the teachings prepare him for the next and more challenging parts of their journey, of the
Mhm.
fool's journey.
And speaking on number four in numerology, number four represents stability. It represents uh, some sort of balance, even give and take.
That's the stability and balance, and number four are so linked together. That's why a table has has four legs,
Exactly.
because
Well,
on three legs sometimes you can make it stand kinda, and on two legs not at all, but in four legs it's a stable construction. That's so the number four always stands for stability. The four of pentacles stands for the stable house and the stable environment. So in numerology the number four is stable. And of course when you look at the card, in the presentation, this emperor, with his legs and his body, creates a number four, with the
that's so true.
yeah, that's his meaning. So that's what he does. So responsibility, solid choices, and taking and taking
Yeah. Accountability. Yes, thank you.
accountability, of course.
Exactly. Hmm.
What comes next?
Leadership and decision making. I think it's important to talk about that when we think about the emperor.
Yeah, yeah. So and leadership comes with a lot of with a lot of decision making, and that's the next lesson, is to take decisions, and that's important for effective leadership, but that you decide and sometimes make the hard decisions, and choices with confidence, guiding people, guiding others, and being assertive when necessary.
Sometimes we have to make a hard decision. It needs to be done. So it's important to tap within our inner emperor,
Yeah,
get to that point that we are actually capable and able to do it without a doubt. Because life sometimes can be very challenging, and we have to do what's right rather than what we want to do.
yeah,
There are situations that just things need to be done. That's it. And the
yeah,
emperor is the energy which helps us achieve that.
yeah. Funny. You said situation. Um, I have a long career in also in businesses, and I worked for multinationals and anything. And one time in my career, we had I was stepping up in my thirties to a leadership position there, and um, we did a program called situational leadership.
Mm,
And situational leadership means not always pushing anything down and not always taking all the decisions, but also create space for others to work. If you have if in your span of control are people who can do the job, take your hands off of them. Not to drop them, but give them the freedom because they're capable enough.
that's also a definition of a good leader. The
Yeah.
leader will lead the way, will show the path. But as you said, and thank you for pointing it out because I think it's very important,
Mhm.
that the emperor will allow space for others because the empire is not one person, it's not one thing. It comes emperor empire. involves many aspects, sometimes many people cooperating within a team.
Yeah, and then there you bring the things together where you create a structure where others can flourish,
Mm,
and
yeah.
that's also an emperor thing, you know. So he learns not to do everything, not to keep control of everything, but also the ability to let go of control
Mm.
for a full emperor. Yeah.
What else the fool could learn from the emperor?
Well, the next point, of course, being compassion, and there we have uh, the thing we could say that comes with with the number of the year. We live in 2024, 2024, and um, in many numerology, the number eight is the number of justice, and with justice
Mm.
and decision making also comes compassion. Sometimes,
It's interesting that you mentioned that because in it at the beginning and some tarot, I still have some tarot decks where actually normally the number 8 is the strength card, but there are decks when the justice is actually number 8 and the strength is number 11.
yeah, and actually that's it was Edward Waite who created the Rider Waite concept, who changed it from justice from 11 to 8 and 8 to 11 from strength. And so in the old tarot decks from the 16th, 17th, 18th, and 19th century, justice was number 8. And
Mm.
in modern decks, you see a lot of um, creators returning to the old way because and returning, bringing the 8, uh, bring justice to the 8, like my favorite deck, the Thoth deck, and many other modern decks revert to that.
Mhm.
So yeah, and compassion. Justice comes with compassion, so it's not always doing justice. It doesn't always mean punishing. It's balancing the scales. It's again giving space, giving understanding. Why
Mm.
do people do things that need compassion, and also people who make who are a victim of mistakes or other people's mistakes is where you jump in, a good Samaritan, you would call him
Yeah.
a Samaritan.
Just like a father figure, uh, obviously, father will take care of their kids, will have love and compassion. It may not be presented to the kids the way the mother would. It's a completely different way of expressing feelings, but the father will always take care of the children, of the empire, of the home. Obviously, we're talking here about the healed and healthy version of the father.
Of course.
Because of course, life can be different. However, we're talking here about the healed version. So yeah, absolutely. And the father will have compassion to the children, even though if they will do something naughty, the father will make sure that the children are safe,
Yeah,
secured, that they're fine. Uh, he will point out the lesson behind it. He will sometimes, as you said, it's not about punishment, it's about learning and teaching and establishing boundaries or sometimes learnings.
yeah,
Hmm.
learning, and especially uh, like you said, when the child does something that gets him into trouble, the emperor, healthy father type, um, would try to turn it into a lesson, saving his child, of course, but turn it into a lesson, and that's compassion, not pure punishment. What did I hear there? Our little star of the show.
Yes, our producer,
Our
apologies
producer.
for that, but she likes to make her presence.
Yeah, okay. She probably says, Luna, move on to the next point.
Yes, which actually I'm looking at it and thinking, oh, that's an interesting one. Create order from chaos. Those who know me know that I'm an absolute fan of chaos.
Yep.
Comes with being a Gemini.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's talk about how can we create order from chaos.
Yeah, it's most of the time it comes from a mindset, don't you think?
Mhm.
And it comes from um, it's most of the times it's a habit thing. When you are chaotic and you
Mhm.
know it, either deal with it, live with it like a grown up, take your responsibility, or find a way out. And for myself, I'm like you, I'm a Gemini too, and I can my room and my desk and my working environment and my living environment can be a total mess. And sometimes I get so sick of it that I organize it. And then comes my good, the good part. For instance, my CDs and my books and all my stuff is always when it's cleared up, it's always in the same spot.
Mm.
And
I have that trait as well. Everything has its order, everything has its place.
yeah,
So if I'll put it back, I know where it is. So I don't have to think about it. I can reach for things with my eyes closed.
same.
Um,
Yeah, that's a
that's so
good.
true. That's so
Yeah,
true.
oh, I learned something.
Um,
I learned something about you now, and something we have in common. Then, like uh, the nice tarot decks behind you, they're probably
mm.
in order as well.
Yes, there is a structure
There's
to it. There
structure
are
there.
separate tarot decks are separate, and angel decks are separate. And if you can see, they're kind of like in the same group of colors as
Yeah,
well. Not just the theme, but it's just yeah.
but there is order.
Um,
There is order in the chaos of.
there is a method in
Yeah,
this chaos, exactly.
yeah,
Well, I love the energy of chaos because to me chaos is the energy of creation. It's the feminine energy,
yeah.
and sometimes we feel we have the negative correlation within the chaos because it's something we have no control over, but it's
Mm,
not always a bad thing
no,
actually,
no.
'cause I thrive on chaos. Like the more chaotic things become, then I find myself pretty well because I know that I have to build a structure. So there is something new emerging from that chaos, the structure, the building something.
Mhm.
First, it's the solid structure, then every brick goes on top
Yeah,
of it. And if we don't have a solid structure, the blocks can fall off. So it's very important to get to that point where we know that we have to build a solid ground. And that's where Emperor can come in and help us.
yeah.
That's
And
where that archetype
okay,
within us
yeah,
is very useful.
and that's probably also why we both love the Tower card, because the Tower card is about letting destruction and chaos happen in order to level the playing field for new order.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
For me, the Tower card is like the full but divinely orchestrated and integrated within our destiny. It's something which has to happen in order to uh, create, help us create new. But let's not talk about that
no, that's
just yet.
something. But that's it was a good finisher for how you create order for chaos. That sometimes you let chaos happen,
Hmm.
so you can create a new order.
Yeah, I agree with
Yeah.
that. I absolutely agree with that. Yeah.
And then further, when we go to the next step, building foundations. That's really the where the father figure prepares the fool for for being a grown up. And when you're young, of course, you get a whole lot of teachings and school teachings and education, and you get your moral compass. But then um, that's all guided. It's all given. It's all brought to the young fool. But
Mhm.
now he comes to the point in life where uh, where he's on his own. The fool is on his own and has to or will get out of the safe environment of the family he was born in and get out into the world and needs to sort himself out.
Mhm.
Needs to get a home. Needs to get the money thing sorted. And this is one of the most difficult uh, things because society has its ways to steer people into a certain direction. So, yeah, you're from school now. Okay, here says the bank, have a mortgage and buy a house. Or here says another bank, here have a personal loan and buy this flashy car. And that's I wouldn't necessarily call that building foundation. Building foundation is taking care of today and tomorrow, building your future,
Yeah,
financial
exactly.
stability, planning, even especially in the young adult age. For a while, you might want to plan your career or plan setting up a business or a startup or whatever, but and secure yourself a safe environment for the days you're not in the street, for a safe home. Yeah,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
yeah, and that's something people like us dare to let go a little here and there. Uh,
Mm.
I'm a free spirit work-wise as well. I'm very very difficult to keep as an employee.
That's why you're not one.
I don't
But I
I
think,
don't take the shit, but
yeah, but I think that being an entrepreneur and having your own business,
yeah,
that's where the emperor is the most helpful energy.
of course. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because that's where where it all comes together. Where you have to build foundations, where you have to take responsibility, where you dare to make mistakes and be accountable for them. Yeah, that's it.
There is no such a thing as a mistake. There are only opportunities to learn. I always keep
Yeah,
saying that.
yeah. Mistakes are always
Mhm.
lessons. They always contain
Yeah.
a lesson. Yeah,
And last but not least, we got to a very important part of an emperor, which is setting boundaries.
yeah. Do do stand for yourself. Courageously stand up for what you believe is right. It's a basis for personal development, healthy relationships. To say yes, but also to say no. I'm not going to do this, or I don't agree, or sorry, I can't agree with this. Uh, and in a non-emotional way, setting your boundaries. And of course, lots of people are afraid to set boundaries, and they do it in an emotional way, and then it leads leads to problems. You can relate to that?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. Very often, I'm trying to keep my microphone switched off as much as possible because my doggy is very naughty right now.
I don't hear her, so you're good probably.
That's good. Absolutely. Very often, people allow themselves to be led by emotions, and they make decisions based on emotions. And emotions, it's actually that part of our body, that part of our being, which, if we want to have control over it, if we want recognize that it's actually overpowering us, it may it may lead to consequences we don't necessarily want to face. For example, you shouldn't make a decision when you're angry because things are not clear. Like, you can't see a mirror, a reflection within the surface of, of the water when the water is boiling, right? Or if it's moving, it has to be still, it has to be calm. And emotions can get the best out of us, and it's normal and natural. It's a part of being a human. But what we came here to learn is to overcome that and to take charge of our emotions.
Boom. Yeah, you said it. You said it. And yeah, and with these points, there might be more, but these points, I think our full is ready to leave the safe environment of the house and the family, and really go out into the world and deeply step into the unknown, where there's a lot of fun, and a lot of big after parties.
Yeah, that is so true.
Yeah. And with that, our dear viewers, we come to the end of this short video. For at least for us, it's short, just 25 minutes. We could easily go on for an hour, but we leave it at this. And Luna, thank you for hosting today's show and introducing everything. Uh, Thank you for that, and looking forward to our next.
Thank you very much. And dear viewers, remember to like, press the subscription button if you haven't already, and see you Monday evening, 8 o'clock.
See you Monday.
Bye.
Bye bye.